Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of It Depends, I Guess podcast. I'm Jackie.
I'm Caroline.
And
DJ.
welcome back.
Welcome back. August is almost ending.
Yes. Yes.
Where did the month go?
Where is time flying to? But it's okay. It's okay.
Yes, okay.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, yes, it does.
Or sleeping a lot.
But for me, August means end of summer.
Yeah. That's true.
End of August means end of summer.
Wait.
When does summer end?
Who knows? Hopefully it goes on later because it came late.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully it's until mid-October.
Yes.
Yeah.
We love to talk about the weather.
Yeah, that's true. When you live in a place with seasons, it matters.
Yeah. So this week, what are we talking about?
Talking about money.
Money.
Yes.
Money. But before we get to the money part, how has your week been?
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing is standing out in my head right now.
Nothing is standing out.
How's yours? Nothing is standing out in my head. So say something. My brain will keep going. We'll catch up.
So I've been actually, sometimes I go on this page on Instagram called the Holistic Psychologist. Mm-hmm. And I love looking at her content. Mm-hmm. So she's a psychologist who does a lot of content around well-being, childhood trauma, growing up, the way we react to things. And she has a lot of, she's called Dr. Nicole Lepera. And she has put together a community where she teaches you how to heal and consciously create a version of yourself. Okay. So most of her work and most of her content is about how you grow up, how you regulate yourself, how that might show up in adulthood. And I highly recommend her page.
The Holistic
Psychologist. Yeah, she's called Dr. Nicole Lepera. She has, I think, 2 books now. I've read the first book. I've not read her second book. The first book has a very intriguing title, actually. Children of emotionally unavailable parents.
Oh, that's her book.
That's her book.
That book.
Yes.
Because someone on social media was saying how their mom saw that book in their house. Yeah. And now the mom is now being passive aggressive.
Yes. It can be, I don't know why she gave it that title, but because it can raise a lot of hidden, let me say, feelings, especially if a parent was to see it. And also even when you mention it, it always seems like you're doing something wrong, talking about your parent being emotionally unavailable. Emotionally immature, not even unavailable.
Okay.
Children of emotionally immature parents. Yeah. I would say don't think about what is reads at the cover. Read the book. It's a really good book, or follow her content on social media. Once in a while I go there to get some gems about life, like thought-provoking content, self-reflective ones that you can journal on. Yeah. So this week I was just what caught my eye is one where she talks about people who are always checking on each other in terms of, we could be seated here and you're asking me, are you okay all the time? Like, are you okay? Are you enjoying yourself? Like you're almost...
Are you happy?
Are you happy? We are seated in the same space, but you feel the innate need in you
to check on you emotionally.
To emotionally check on the other people. That's also a trauma response to probably having to grow up in a disorganized home, And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Sometimes you think it's a good thing when your friend keeps checking on you. Yeah. And I'm not saying checking on you when you're at your home or in a distant place. Checking on you.
Sorry, I just thought I remembered someone who does that a lot.
You do?
Yeah. Yes.
You jumped out. I was scared for a second.
Yeah. I was like,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah. But it has thought-provoking actually content. Yeah. So that stood out for me. Yeah.
You have someone who checks on you
Yeah.
Often.
We'll be sitting in the same space. You know this person.
Yeah.
And then that person will be like, are you okay? Is everything okay? Is he awful quiet there? And I'm like, oh, I'm chilling. Well, what's up?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If it's overly done, for sure, it doesn't come as authentic as you would want it to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, it loses its... Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah. So if you keep doing that on somebody, like also check with yourself, are you being triggered that the other person doesn't look happy, you know? Yeah. So very thought-provoking content to actually walk through. Yeah.
I think I'm a recovering, not that,
Yeah.
but I can feel emotions of people in the room.
Yeah.
And then I used to be the person who, it's like, oh, if you're seeming low, like, oh, I need to try and fix that, get their energy up.
Yes.
Or they may seem more annoyed, let me go and fix the energy. Like, but now I've had to learn how to just be like, yeah, she seems like a bit deflated, but I have to be like, oh, but okay. Because I don't know. It's because when I do that, it's also very emotionally taxing.
Yes, it is.
For me.
Yeah.
Yes. So I had to learn to just be like, just sit with it.
You don't need to be a fixer to everybody.
Yeah. You can't be the vibe bringer or the vibe. Like, oh, everyone needs to be okay. And it's difficult, especially when you're doing trips with groups of people.
Yeah.
Because if you're on a long trip with different people, there's like that day 3, day 4, where it's like someone wants to sleep in and someone wants to but it's like, I'm like, no, let's all do this thing. Let's all go on the boat. Let's all, I just have to
let's
be like,
all be on the same wavelength.
I'll see you when I see you then. Cool. Yeah. DJ,
anything this week caught your eye?
Travis Scott getting arrested.
Whoa.
In Paris.
What happened?
And he was it was between his security. There's one version of the story that says he was fighting with his security. And then there's another version of the story that says the security was fighting with the hotel security. Hotel security are very tough sometimes, and they won't let you run around their 5-star hotel and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
No matter who you are. But he got arrested in this video of it, and it's just, I don't know. It's always a young, successful guy like that going into a police car. It's not cool.
Yeah.
Last one was Nicki Minaj in Netherlands.
Oh, in Amsterdam, yeah.
Amsterdam.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Was she flying in to perform or flying out?
Flying out to, she was going to London.
Meant to be going to Manchester or somewhere. Yeah. Then she was recording it. Yeah, she was being told to get into the truck, and she's like, no, why should I? But it's because did she have...
Yeah, I think she had some drug paraphernalia of some sort.
Yeah, she had something of some sort, yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
So
I think she missed one night of her show, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in Manchester. But, I mean, we think made up for it the next night or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that one. No, my brain is still...
It's still as it is.
Yeah, so that's a good thing, no? Oh, no, although this came to mind. It's interesting. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, let me use me as an example. Certain things, if you tell me that, in X amount of time, you'll be doing this, or you see someone doing something that in your brain, you're like, yo, that's so brave.
Yeah.
I don't know how I could do that, or I don't know how they're doing it, or whatever. And when you're looking at that person, you're just like, whoa, like, what do they do to and they're so relaxed, and and then when you're in it, you're just like, it's not as scary as you think it is. So it just made me think there's many things in life that we think are, I don't know if it's a time with adulting, with experiencing life. Okay, I'll use the analogy of, for example, swimming. When you throw kids in water, they'll figure out how to float or whatever, right? So you see now small kids go for floating lessons, etc. And it's easy. So they even say certain things you learn very easy when you're young.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the understanding of danger or
Yeah.
this thing is not scary to you. But then the older you grow, the more you start thinking, oh my God, there could be sharks. And oh, what if I fall off my surfboard and face plant and then I pass out in the ocean? So life now starts taking away the curiosity in you or the more carefree version
yeah.
of you, and is like, no, now you're more responsible, you're more whatever. I think there's a similarity with just life experiences. There are life experiences when you're younger, you can be like, oh, I think I'll leave my employment for 2 years and go wander around the world and go, because you have a feeling of, I'm young.
Yeah.
I can always come back and find another job, or, the world is big, let me go explore, whatever. But then for some reason, as you get older, you start getting your thoughts. And it's the thing you do for yourself. You start getting your thoughts and you're like, let's do that thing, but, no, now I'm in my 30s. I should be doing 30-ish things. You start building this little house for your brain and how you should think and what you should do.
Yeah.
And I just thought, it's something that we should get away from. Like go tap back into your carefree child where the world was your oyster. Tap back into that.
There's a therapist of mine who told me to always be tapping, because she asked me, when did you ever feel the freest? When did you ever feel the world is available to you? The world can be conquered. There was no fear in you. And I remember I was 8, and for me, like I was around 8 years, and the December holidays were the most magical holidays because the sun was out. It was our summer, and
Parents are not working.
Your
Your cousins are all there. You have many kids.
And then there's also this nostalgia about you're moving to another class.
Oh,
because
yes.
we used to
Oh,
move
true.
classes in
The next, the
January.
new year.
So there was no thoughts about trying to have education at the back of your mind. It was such carefree. No thoughts about school. No thoughts about anything work related. No thoughts about structure. Just wake up and be. And every time I want to tap into that carefree, I always go and lie down and think about being 8 and how carefree I would be.
Yes.
Look out in the sun, in the skies, on the grass, Yeah, because at that age again, like you're so carefree.
Yeah. So tap into that.
I'll do that more.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Wait, money.
Money.
And we'll talk about money specifically, actually, ideally on, and it's a term I heard from you today.
Yeah.
Financial wellness.
Yes.
I knew about financial literacy.
Yes.
And financial health.
Yes.
But not financial wellness.
Yes. And to give credit where it's due, I watched Lynn Googie's show. I think about 10 days ago is when it was released. And she had, what was her name? Julia Odhiambo. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting her name. Let me just find it, just make sure. Juliet Odhiambo.
Yeah.
Juliet Odhiambo is Pesa Savvy. So I think she has a company called Pesa Savvy. She's a personal finance and money expert. So when she was being interviewed by Lynn Googie, I love Lynn Googie shows.
Yeah, her shows are really dope.
Yeah, when she was being interviewed, she talked a lot about financial wellness, and sometimes parts of how our growing up and our childhood and our experiences and trauma even shapes how we work with money in our actual adult life. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, let me just give a dictionary definition of financial wellness.
Yeah.
It refers to the state of being in control of one's financial life, where an individual or household can meet current and future financial obligations, feel secure in their financial future, and make choices that allow them to enjoy life. So it encompasses the ability to manage day-to-day finances effectively, save for the future, handle unexpected expenses, and have a plan for achieving your long-term financial goals.
Yes.
So financial wellness also involves the absence of significant financial stress and the confidence to make informed financial decisions. Yes. Now, let's start from the beginning.
In the beginning.
Yes, in the beginning. It all starts in your childhood.
Yes.
Yes. Tell me your money journey.
Oh, my personal money journey.
Yes.
And I'll go to the time I earned actually my first salary that I banked or I put in my pocket. So, you know, that carefreeness of growing up as a child until you get to a place where you understand yourself or your family dynamics. I would say I was naive until around 10 years or so. I just lived as a carefree child. Yeah? And when you're in primary school, deep in the village, you barely are paying any money for schools.
Yeah.
Like education was almost free at
Yeah.
that point. Yeah. And my dad was a teacher. But I remember as I was making the steps to go to high school, we started talking about money a lot, where it was like, okay, my older brother is going to high school, so we need to have money for that. I was going to go the year after. And within that point, like, I could sense the things I used to get before, whether it was at the end of the month, you know, we would get like chocolate or there would be sausages. Those ones started becoming less and less because we were saving for money. So I thought to myself, oh, this money thing is actually making me not get the things I used to get. Now, getting into high school, this is when I realized that money, what it meant to have money and not to have money.
Kenyan high school. Ooh,
Kenyan
game
high school,
changers.
game changers,
Yeah.
definitely. I was coming from an okay family, yeah? But then I realized there are people who are very wealthy. So meaning the kids had the best of snacks. Because back in the days, the only thing you could talk about is
the
'cause-
snack game.
Yeah, the snack game. Like
And
whatever
on
you had
visiting
to
day,
do,
the
on
cars that
visiting
show
day,
up.
the cars show up, your parents show up, they have all these things for you, like biscuits and whatever. And then that's when the disparity about money. So for me, my first education about money was not abundance. It was actually a lack of it.
Lack.
My understanding of money was lack. So within high school, there was also school fees was hard to meet at that point. Yeah, in and out of school. So again, lack and not abundance. And the story was always we have to tighten our belt.
Yes.
Oh,
That
that's
was
rain.
that is yeah.
We have big rains today.
Tell you. It was hot and then it rained.
Yes, yeah. So the first amount of money that I got, let me say that my first paycheck was during some general elections. After high school, you could actually get a job as what do they call them, invigilators, or what do they call them? The ones
The
who help
clerks. Oh, voter in
voter assistants or
to
voting.
like supervising people are voting.
Yes,
I
yes,
forgot the
yes.
names. Yeah.
Polling
Yes.
agent.
Yeah,
Yes. So that one, yes.
Come on, Zimbabwe.
Zim, zim.
It's not giving Zim.
It's not.
Kidding.
Yeah. So that was after high school. I got this little job, and I can't remember how much I was paid. I don't know whether it was 8K or something.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Back then.
Wow. I had never seen that much money. But because my first introduction about money was the lack of, I remember holding on to every cent of that money and giving to my family. So whatever was needed at home, I went, did the shopping and everything. And I remember always thinking, whenever I get money, I have to really hold on to it because it never comes. Yes. So to me, that was my first introduction about money. The lack and hold on to what you get.
What you get.
Yes.
Yeah. That's so fascinating. So my introduction to money also was the lack of.
Yes.
So I grew up in the outskirts of Nairobi.
Yeah.
So lived just outside but schooled in Nairobi.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was similar. When I became conscious of money, it was the lack of. And whenever you'd ask for like, oh, we need this textbook, and then you're told, go look at that tree outside. Do you see money growing there? So it became such a conscious thing that, oh, okay, I can't just be asking for things.
Yeah.
We don't have this money,
Yeah.
right? So similarly, high school is where, that is where there's people with a shit ton of money.
Actually, I learned about classes in high school.
In high school.
Yes.
But then also, because I was in a national school, I also saw people who completely had nothing. Right? So they were fully on bursaries. So bursary is a fund from your constituency. So even like visiting day, there's mostly no one. Or if their parent lives like really far, so they've traveled for like a day to come.
Yeah.
So I think the good thing about the high school structure we had is after your visiting day, like in your dorm room or with friends, like you'll sit with the food you've taken away and you bring everyone in. So people who will not be visited. So you make sure that, so like parents would be conscious of that. So my mom would tell me, oh, if you have friends who their parents haven't come, so the food you'll eat with your parents, then there's food you take away to your dorms. And we didn't have refrigerators. So you have to eat that food within 24 hours.
Yeah.
So you used to know the people in your dorm who their parents don't come. So in a dorm, everyone comes together, you put your food so that the people who've not been visited can eat with you. Or sometimes even you can invite them to come sit with your parents.
And
so that they're not...
Maybe for our viewers or our listeners who did not grow in the Kenyan education system, most of our high schools and the best high schools
are boarding schools.
Are boarding schools.
Yeah.
And what they would do is it would be either sex, so it would be either girls boarding or boys boarding.
Yeah, mixed boarding school are very rare.
Very rare. And actually, if they were mixed boarding schools, they were not the best of the schools.
Yes. Yeah.
So what would happen is they would send us to boarding school, and you'll be stuck there for 3 months.
Yes.
And only can your parent come visit.
Yes.
In very few schools could you go home for midterm.
Yeah.
But you had to stay in the boarding school.
Yeah.
And it was military style boarding school. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is where visiting day comes.
Yeah, it was a big deal. So that's where it's so like, because it was a national school, you had different walks of life.
Yeah.
Then also, there's people who, when there's the different leagues, is like, closing day, you're busy going home, trying to just go home and watch MTV or Channel O and cram all the new music.
Yes.
People are going to Dubai, to Cape Town. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What is even a passport? But then similarly, I was sent home. I was a regular going home for school fees.
Yeah.
So my understanding of my early introduction to money was also the lack of it.
Yeah.
Now, ironically, when I did start making money, hold on to what?
Yeah.
No. I did not have, and I don't understand why. I really can't figure it out. And my relationship with money was very, for lack of a better word, very bipolar. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, okay, no. We have to be serious and we have to be. And then I'll wake up one day and just be like, yeah, you only live once.
Is that a Gemini thing?
I don't know. That maybe is where the Gemini-ness shows up.
Yeah.
But I remember the time when I started working, my first job, I would go buy, I was still living with my parents. So I'd go do shopping for the house, everything, because I was not paying rent. So I think to me it made sense that my parents are not spending money on food and things. After that, I just spend that money. I'd just use the card until it's rejected, basically. Yes. That's just how I used to operate.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, but I don't know why I was that way with money. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll talk about the now, but yes.
The now.
DJ, what is your money journey?
What's your money journey?
Growing up.
From when I was in school, I think I was just regular. I didn't stand out to me that, okay, I did notice that there were some kids who didn't have much. That's one thing I noticed. Primary school, I did notice that. Then
is this in Zimbabwe?
In Zimbabwe,
or in Ireland? Okay.
Yeah, primary school, I did notice that. Okay, this dude, whenever we used to we wore uniforms to school, and then we'd have something called CV's Day. On CV's Day, these kids just either wouldn't come to school or it would come in the uniforms.
What's CV's Day?
CV's Day is like your own clothes.
Oh, okay.
So that was like a fashion show.
Oh, yeah, okay.
To see who's got what.
Yeah.
And I was topping because, my cousins from over the water.
Yes.
They kept me, looking nice.
Tip-top.
Yeah, no. I wasn't playing. I wasn't playing. The retro, the when you used to pull up the tracksuit on one side just to show the feelers.
Yes.
Or
Oh,
the,
fila. Oh my God, that's a throwback.
or the well, I would be lying if I said that. Not that we were rich, but like I knew loads of kids with way more money than we had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? High school, I think, was the same. We went to boarding school, military school. It's like an English school. So there were some kids who were on scholarships and stuff like that. Yeah, like you were saying, that were on the you just noticed that they weren't doing as much as everyone else.
Yeah.
So there was the extremes, but there was the extreme of one time a kid doesn't have anyone coming to visit them or bring them extra food, to the other side of the extreme where
Yeah.
you're being dropped off by helicopter
Yeah.
coming to play a rugby game. So your parents come and drop you off in a chopper and then they take off back to the farm, across in Botswana or because we're right on the border with Botswana. So, so I didn't really have a feed. I just, when it started, even when I started making money, like when I came to Ireland, my first job was in Texaco as a fuel supplier. I used to
pump
put,
guy.
So and then I started making. I was like, then you knew you were going to get paid next week. So it wasn't anything like I didn't start making money in Africa while still staying with my mom. I don't think I was under pressure to ever buy groceries or anything because I was way too young.
Yeah.
I left home when I was 14,
Yeah.
13, 14.
And when you're still living with your mom, like even that time, when you ask for things, you just get things, or would you be told,
No, I'd be
money's
told
tight?
no a lot of the time.
Yeah.
A lot of the time I'd be told no.
Were you told no, or were you told there's no money?
There's no money.
Or were you told money does not grow on trees?
Money doesn't grow on trees. That's one. I think that's
That's a
African
standard
saying.
African.
it's an African favorite.
parenting school.
Yeah.
That's when they were taught. That one. They
that's
all
what-
remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I always think of it like, look, we didn't have everything that we wanted,
Yeah.
but we had some stuff.
Yeah.
My brother also left when he was really young, so when I got to Ireland, that was the first time I started making some money for myself or getting money. And when I got to Ireland, they were just, they paid decent money,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was just spending it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
figure out next week. But for this week, we're partying.
Yeah.
Next week is next week's problem.
Yeah. So that's it.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
All right. Now,
Yes.
since you mentioned that your whole understanding of money is if I have money, I hold it.
I hold on to
Yes.
it. Yes.
What does that look like from then to now? It's been a few years.
Yes.
Do you still have the same
Yes.
relationship with money? Has your relationship with money changed? If yes, what has influenced it? Or it's still kind of in the same realm? And does it also influence how you invest?
I was gonna come to that actually. My relationship with money up to now has been a hoarding kind of relationship. The more I see the zeros, the happier I am. Because I want to make sure my account is sitting a certain way. And even if I have the money, I don't want to spend it. I could be wanting something. I could, for example, if I want, if I want, let's say, a watch, something easy, maybe a steps tracker or something. Rather than go give myself reasons why I want that thing, I'll give the reasons why I don't need it.
You don't. Okay.
So I talk myself out of purchases a lot so that I can make sure that I keep my money. But it got to a point, and probably this is a privilege of working in a tech company where, having worked in tech and we were always paid, remunerated very well. I only paid the necessities. So like you had the outwards going out of your account.
The bills, the standing
the
orders,
bills,
yeah.
the standing orders for very many years. I didn't even know how much was coming into my account because I made sure only the necessities are going out. Then the rest just remains on the account. Now, I'm trying my best to focus more on not thinking about having the zeros in the account is what would make me wealthy, because creating wealth does not mean you saving money in your bank account. That's very stupid,
Yeah,
actually.
that your money is losing
It's
value.
losing value the more it stays in the bank.
yeah.
Yes. So I've come to a point where over the years, I'm slowly letting my money go. So even small things like moving my money into, like, this is very sporadic, by the way. My investment is very sporadic. And that's one thing I learned, that I have very sporadic thoughts, and I will always latch on any opportunity that I'm told my money is needed, because I never plan for where I want to invest. Because
Okay.
if you don't plan for your money, this is what I learned from Juliet in this podcast, in this show where she was being interviewed. Most of the times, because I'm the person who holds the money. So if the next person comes and tells me, oh, there's this investment opportunity, I'll be the first one to say yes, please, because I have never planned what I want to do with my money. My money would always be sitting in an account somewhere, or it will always be accessible. Even if it's not a specific account, it would be in like a money market fund where I know,
you can pull it out.
I can pull it out the next day if I wanted to. So one thing that I've learned is I cannot create wealth with that sporadicity of me investing when
Like falling into investments.
Yes, it's like I'm cute. My ears is out listening, and if somebody comes and tell me wash is the next thing, of course I won't do wash, but
Wash is money laundering.
yes, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
No, actually, is that even money laundering?
No, it's a
Those
scam
are a
where
scam.
they
It's a
tell
scam.
you that your money
They tell
can
you they're
be
going to wash the
these
money.
wa-
They
yeah.
wash
And
money
turn
and
paper into money. That's
Money
what
laundering is
wash
money
here.
laundering. That's
I'm
it.
giving money laundering a bad name. Sorry, money laundering. Wash.
wash is where you triple your money by having your money washed.
Yes. It's
So
like
your
they're saying,
million
like
becomes-
they're photocopying. They're using the same ink that they used to make money.
and they photocopy your money.
Yes, into real money. It's convoluted.
Yeah.
Genius.
So when it comes to investment, because I was mentioned, like, I feel guilty spending money on myself. I feel guilty letting the money go, because I'm like, what if I need this money as a matter of urgency? So I would keep around money in my account. Or then when somebody comes in and says, oh, actually supplying eggs to Ethiopia is the next big deal.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I'll latch on
Let's
that.
apply eggs. Where do I sign?
Where do I sign?
Yeah.
So I'm working on that right now, actually. I'm working on that. And for me, watching this show sort of made me realize, like, I have trauma-related relationship with money, where I find hard to let go. And if I let go, it is money, it's out of guilt. Maybe I'm helping other people because I feel guilty. I'm throwing money at problems, and it's sporadic. It's not planned. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel you on the trauma relation with money. I definitely I have that. I think, okay, so my relationship with money has transitioned over the last few years. I think at least I stopped doing the thing of we'll just swipe the card until it says no more.
Yeah.
I tried to move more towards, all right, the essentials are paid and there's some minimum amount at least that's there.
Yeah.
But I was never, but not like a saver. I was never a saver. I'm better now because I put structures in my account where it goes to
Yes, yes.
places that are savings funds, but a saving fund that is actually doing something. So at least I did better there. Then now on the investments piece, if there's a risk profile,
Yeah.
I am the complete opposite of you.
Uh-huh. You're very risk averse, like you.
No, I am I'm not afraid of risk.
Okay.
So if someone
I.e., I will buy into wash wash, no problem.
no, that's different. So I do think about investments and what. So here's the thing: I'm not a saver. I'm better now.
Yeah.
I used not to be a saver, but I'm the person who constantly thinks about investments.
Yeah.
So to me, they're never sporadic. I was constantly thinking about investments. So now my issue was more of I didn't trust my own conviction or my own ideas of what I should invest in. It was driven by what I'm a lastborn. So what other people in the family are doing. So my brother in construction, I've invested there. And blah, blah, I invested there. Then I got to a point. Interestingly, a lot of things in my life do depend on my my dad's death. It's a turning point for many things.
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell people this, but I felt like, oh, what is the meaning of life? What is the point? So, you know how everyone has that sense of sort of risk, like, yeah, you can do things, but you've gone too far. I always say that it's like someone shook a bottle of Coke and opened.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it. This life, where do we know? Where are we going? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
So all the things I had ever thought of doing on my own investment wise, I woke up and I was like, where am I sitting on these thoughts?
Yeah.
Everyone has thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm going to do them. And I just started doing things. So that's when I started experimenting with like snail farming. If you ever research me, you'll see a page about snail farming in Kenya. I was like, what's this thing? Let's try. I wasn't afraid to put my money out because one thing I understood is you're not going to make money from no money.
Yeah.
Money begets money.
Yeah.
So my investment mind was always there, but I was more reserved because I'd listen to, I'd be like, ask 25 people, what are you doing? What is this a good idea? Is this, and a good idea to you might not be a good idea to him. Or that's just how life is. So I just got to the point where I was like, no, I'm just going to try.
Yeah.
And that's always been my approach.
Yeah.
So I'll think of something, I'll research it, I'll be like, you know what, I think that's a good thing to go into. When my mom wanted to go into milk value add, so she had told me, oh, I've done a proposal, I'm going to the bank. I read the proposal, I said, no, I'll be your business partner.
Yeah.
This makes sense. Put in money. I have no regrets for any of the milk business is doing great. But even the ones that didn't pan out, I have no regret. The ones that were mine, I have no regret at all. Because I'm like, I had an idea and I executed.
Yeah.
And I learned from that.
Yeah.
And to me, I think part of success also includes what I learn.
Yeah.
Now, there's also a guilt when we're growing up, all people who had money didn't seem to have money from good ways. Let me put it that way.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So it always seemed to me as if, wait, we'll cut here for a second. What is that? Sorry. Sorry. Remember that? Oh.
Remember there to cut.
Yeah.
Now we can leave it in. It's
It's just
character. Shows we are real people.
So, because people who we used to be shown that they have money, it never used to seem to come from a good place. I always sometimes used to think that wealth is for people who are not good, right? And so even when I had ideas about, I want to invest in this thing, I was afraid to tell people or say out loud that, no, I want that thing to be very successful and for me to be rich out of it was something I was very afraid to say.
So being rich always felt like you either were not deserving or
Yes.
you were not deserving or it was the wrong thing
Or it was
to
the
want
wrong
for.
thing to want.
To want,
That you
yeah.
should not want
Yeah.
to be rich. You should want to help people. And
Yeah.
you should want to blah, blah, blah. So that's something that I worked on a lot last year.
Yeah.
And to the point that towards the end of last year when I was writing down my goals, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I do want to be rich.
Yeah.
And it's something now I said, saying out loud. I never used to say that I want to be rich.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, I don't know. I want this thing to have legacy and have blah, blah, blah. But if money comes, that would be nice too.
Yeah.
But it was like now I've had to work to be more confident
Yeah.
with what I want, and that wanting money is not a bad thing. Now I still have my my investment head is still there. And again, I don't know where this came from, because when I think about, technically I should be a hoarder, but I'm not. I don't understand it. I'm not.
Maybe you're good at taking risks. And
Yes,
maybe
but sometimes to the extreme. Sometimes I'll take all the money and throw it at an idea.
Can
And if
I-
it doesn't work, then I'm left at zero.
Can I give you an example? Probably it's a good example with my sister. It's a last born thing.
Maybe it is.
Yes, because last borns have this thing of, and I seen it with my sister, where they're a bit more carefree because they've always had that structure of help in terms of either the siblings or, they're always dotted on in a certain way, even though it may not come out physically or emotionally as you expect. You always know somebody has your back. You always know somebody have your back. And this is a conversation I had to have with a therapist of mine, because my sister and I are completely two different people. And I used to ask my therapist, how come my sister is very carefree? She lives, she's amazing. She's carefree. She's not afraid of the world. Me, I'm here seated in a cocoon. I want to save my money. I'm always so afraid. And then she sort of explained to me, the therapist explained to me the dynamics of, she grew up knowing there's always somebody who has her back, whether it's a parent or you as a sibling.
Yeah,
So-
I knew my siblings had my back.
So if you have, yes, so if subconsciously that is embedded in you,
Yeah.
you also move through life.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes I'm like, what are you doing? Even though now I think my brothers have responsibilities
Yes.
and things. So, I
But
don't
you
think
also
they
know
can
you
have
can reach out to them.
I know,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it's different when now my brother has kids. He'll tell me, girl, I have kids. You call someone else.
Yeah.
So logistic, like in really ground, in reality,
Yeah.
now I move as if I have no one to give me a backup.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm no longer a priority in their lives. They
Yeah.
have families.
Yeah.
So maybe now I'm a bit different with it, where I move through life being like, oh no, I think I'm the only one who'll have my back.
Yeah.
So, but I still,
But also, look at it this way, and I'm guessing this is where it depends, I guess, in terms of how you grew up. Because that sense of things will always work out was instilled in you, you kind of grow and move through life with that at the back of your mind, even though you're not physically depending on another person, whether your brother, because that dynamic has changed. But that's a core value that was instilled in you, that things will always work out, always make out a way,
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
And also that as long as I have for me, I'm more worried if I don't have opportunities.
Yeah.
Then that's worrying to me versus, because I know as long as I have an opportunity, I'll make money out of it.
Yeah.
But also my brother, I think I mentioned before, my brother, the one who lives in the US, the one I follow, second last born, also has a very, he's, if you think I am on the extreme, there's another extreme. That's him. And then our second one is now you, but with a spreadsheet. But he's the one who also helped me not to be so tight-fisted with money.
Yeah.
He used to always just say, if I can make $10,000 today,
Yeah.
I can make $20,000 tomorrow. And that's just how he lives life. He's like, if this was not a fluke, if I've done it today, I can do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't live life very constricted, etc. And so that made me think, why am I always just worried about money? And so honestly, one of the areas in my life I think I've grown is my relationship with money has definitely grown. And yeah, I'm much more, well, I'll have some savings account somewhere that's money diverts, because then if it cannot be left to me every month to press submit, because it will be submitted on some shopping site.
Yeah.
But even things like purchasing a house, like in Ireland, that was not, I don't know, that was not, in my head I knew, one day I'll think about buying property. But it was totally because the apartment I lived in, loved that apartment. I had really good, the owners were really good, and the management company were really
Yeah.
dope people. And the entire complex was bought by another entity, and this entity now was trying to mop up all the individually owned apartments. So they told me, we have to sell.
Yeah.
And when, I don't know if I've told you before, when we were younger, we were evicted from our house. Maybe this is. So I am more of, if I could buy 25 million houses, I would.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think that event made me feel like, oh, nobody will ever make me feel like
Yeah.
we have nowhere to go, or I don't have a place. So I remember when they sent me the email, they said, yeah, we're so sorry, but we need to sell. I panicked. So I went and I was looking at apartment prices, like rent areas where to live. Then I was like, am I going to do this thing of going to look at apartments? And then it was a time of the year where students are coming into Ireland. There used to be a period if there's lots of students coming in, etc. It's like, finding an apartment was just chaotic.
Yeah.
So then I remember going to, like, someone said, you should just buy a house. I'm like, why are you saying that? That's something I can just do. So I walked into the office, then had a bank person. So I went and sat with them. I was like, do you think I can buy a property? They're like, oh, give me your pay slip. They're like, yeah, you can. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, send me this other document. I sent in the document. 2 days later, he had sent me a pre-mortgage thing.
Wow.
And he did the calculation and told me, how much rent are you paying right now? I told him. He's like, if you buy a house, you'll pay less in your mortgage payments. I said, can I? He's like, yeah. Then, Ireland at the time, it was such that if you had the first buyer scheme, so the government gives you back money you've paid for taxes to pay for your down payment and things like that. So I was just like, okay.
The government really wants you to own the place.
Yeah. And I was like, this doesn't seem complicated. Now, they don't tell you it's more complicated. The process.
When you're looking at it from the outside, then that's what you were saying. And then when you're inside, you're like,
inside, huh? I was just like, also I live by the seat of my pants.
Yeah.
So I just said that I'm not looking for a new apartment to go pay rent. I'll just go find a house. And I looked at two. I looked at a new development, looked at the show house. I was like, oh, give me your... No, I told them, all right, give me the form. I'll let you know. Left, went to go look at another second place. The second place, which was just like a regular apartment. I was like, fuck it. Went back to the other guys. I said, can I fill this thing here?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. Filled it, signed.
It was that easy.
Yeah, and I left. Everyone told me, you looked at 2 houses. I said, yeah.
Wow.
And I was like...
Is that the
what I don't know?
Risk-taking?
Yes. I was just like,
this
it's a new building. I like the place. It has potential to grow.
Yeah.
Price is good. And if they get more infrastructure, it will even go higher. I said,
and it's that place you are at has really grown in the last couple of years.
I was looking at the value of properties now. I was like, goodbye.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you there was a formula. I just said, and I remember thinking to myself, because the brothers are just like, no, you should go look at like a few more properties and you should. I said, no.
I'm thinking to myself here, I'm the kind of a person who makes investments by my gut feeling. There's always a voice that tells me if something is, I don't know how to say, but the big purchases I've made, whether it's land or houses, I don't want to say like I'm very rich, but I'm trying.
It's okay. Say it.
Yeah, but any major purchase I've made there's an inner voice in me that I have to listen to. And I don't know, it's very hard for me to explain this because it is not something about the paper or me looking at the future. I just listen to something that tells me, that resonates, that tells me this is a good spot. This, I can see potential. I hardly ever do research, actually. It's just something, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
No,
but
that's a good thing. I don't think I go by gut.
You don't go by gut.
No, I go with on a whim.
On a whim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, truly, I go by what's the worst that could happen.
Yeah.
I don't like the house.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not planning to live here forever.
I worry about not
This
liking
is-
something.
See, but for me, I'm like, it's not. If I don't like it, I can rent it out and live else. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Truly sometimes I just go like, what's the worst that could happen? To me, if it's not death or financial ruin, it's cool.
Yeah. You
Now, I've
mentioned,
lost a lot of money, but still.
you mentioned about like when your dad passed on and some of the big decisions you made, like about investments, were around that point. I also do feel I had the same thought process. And I think when somebody goes through a major life-changing event, you kind of recalibrate your life about what is important and what are you holding life out for,
Yeah.
you know?
What are you? I could go tomorrow. What
You
will I
go
say I've done with
tomorrow,
my
like,
time?
what are you holding life
Yeah.
on? And one of the things I did, probably this was the worst of the things that I did with money at that point. I think this is where I felt like I've taken the biggest risk. I went to Zanzibar and I stayed at this ridiculously expensive hotel. I would never stay there again.
But why?
But to me, it felt, I was in a mood where I just wanted to spend my money. I wanted it all to go. Like, I was like, why do I have money?
Yeah.
Why?
What is the point?
What's the point of the money
Yeah.
if I'm going to die tomorrow and not
Yeah.
have, I'll never take this money to the grave,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I believe most of people who go through grief, they do go through, especially with finances and about money, something to that effect always happens. Where you were doing investments, me, I was plundering it. I can't even remember what I did, but
I mean, some of those investments was like me taking money and just throwing it into a fire. Same difference.
yeah. It's interesting that traumatic events and also like growing up, the way we grew up shapes us a lot about how we handle money. I don't know, DJ, do you have?
Me and money, we hate each other.
Joe,
Well, one side, it's a love-hate relationship. There's a lot of love on one side, but the other side doesn't
loving
listen.
who
loving who?
I
Loving
love it
hate.
so much, but it doesn't. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's shocking.
you're chasing it and
It's
running.
like
And the fast is too fast.
there's someone else listening somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just been paid. It's just been paid.
Yeah.
Get him. And they all come quickly. I don't know. I think it just runs away from me. Also, sometimes this is the first time of the past 5 years. This is the first time I've had like a proper job where I work I've never worked properly.
Oh, you've always been
Always been
Employed.
So some months you will make a killing. And then other months you won't have a
dime to your
nothing.
name. Yeah.
So with those you can't budget for anything because you don't know what's going to happen the next month. You could be called every night. You could be called for one night to do 3 different things that will pay you crazy amounts of
Yeah.
money. And then for the next 2 months, there's nothing.
So do you feel the need to hoard the money?
No. I like things.
You're the first person
I
that
do
I heard
like things.
about.
The
What do you
void.
call it? The
The
void.
void.
Yes.
Feeling the void. Can you tell us about the
Lately,
void?
I haven't had. I've had so many voids, but I just can't fill them because I've been indulging into so many things that I shouldn't be.
Yes.
The void is just when there's a gap in your life that you need to fill with something. Something. Probably it's a
Something
gadget.
expensive.
It's
Something
a gadget.
expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's expensive.
Something that I can look at and then
You
smirk
should
a
see
little
what he's
bit.
doing
And then I'll
with his
look
hands.
away.
He's just doing.
I'll look away,
Yeah.
and then just it's I know it's a bad way to go through life, but it's therapy. And some people have things for themselves. Some
Yeah.
people drink a lot. Some people go out to a game, or some people Me, I like,
It's called retail therapy.
Yeah.
Baba. With me, it's But these days, I've changed. I've changed.
But you know, there's nothing wrong with that as well.
Yeah.
Because it is what fills your soul.
Yeah.
It is what works for you. It is what gets you going.
And-
the way we were talking about the previous episode and religion and enjoying your life now.
Now, yeah.
Not waiting for
That's also
the
what I truly
afterlife.
believe.
Yeah.
That's I'm like, listen, if I go out, I'm going out minus because I'll be up. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I think I always treat money like I just don't want to live life halfway and then realize I've missed out on a lot of things that I could have had right now. Do you know what I mean?
So for
Because
you, the
there's so many-
experience is now.
Now.
It's not
Yes.
a matter of.
can't wait until
Oh, in
tomorrow.
5 years.
Say, wait until the sale comes. Say, no, it's here. I'm looking at it. I've got the money. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, we had that conversation. Yeah.
I just, but I'm trying to change now because, you know, there's a lot of things. You're older and you have to do grown up stuff, and
Yeah.
that's
Do
what
you?
you know. You know, money is there to be spent, guys. know.
There's maybe this is probably a question I'll start asking. What's the most expensive thing you bought yourself, and how did that make you feel? The very first, let's say the first thing that you spent considerable amount of money on.
Oh, what's the first thing that a car? Maybe a car.
A car.
Yeah.
The car was worth more than the house. How much was the car?
No, wait. First, you said the first thing.
First
Oh, right,
thing,
right,
the first expensive. Yes.
Wait a minute. Jesus, what kind of car
Probably
was it?
have a Porsche,
No, it was a
a Lamborghini.
very cute VW Beetle. No, it was my first.
I know your Beetle.
Yes.
I know your VW Beetle.
Yes,
Yes.
Was
still
brand new?
around. No,
All right.
you know me. I don't believe in brand new cars.
All right.
This is the first time I have one. I don't believe in brand new cars.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a car. At least have it with low mileage. No,
Yeah.
but in Kenya it was not common to buy brand new cars.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because also there the devaluation is strong. So if you buy a brand new car and you drive it out of the showroom, the devaluation is massive.
Yeah.
It's not like here. Yeah, I think a car. And then this points to something that you mentioned before that maybe we've not touched on. There's also guilt. So how do I put it? Because of the coming from a lack of, there was this thing of, if you say you want to go on holiday and someone tells you, that is, you could have fed the village with that money.
Yeah.
Or, you could have paid school fees for your cousins with that money. Or you could have. So it creates this thing of, man, I should never put myself first. There's people who need. So until you fulfilled all those, then you can do something. Then I remember when I started working, I remember someone going on holiday. This is so weird. I used to take time off to sleep. I never knew that you go on holiday
Yeah.
when you work because I never saw that. We never did that.
Or if you take a holiday, you're actually going to do businesses in the
village. Yes.
Yes.
Because my mom, her job, she did travel. I remember going on holiday with her to Mombasa, but it was a work trip. So she was going to do something in Mombasa. So then I went with her. But that's the only... Holidays are not a thing that our parents really did. So my first year working, I'd take time off and sleep,
Me
watch
too.
TV, or go run errands for someone. So I remember the third time back in the office, people asked me, what did you do? Because now there's a new employee and she was Kenyan American. She's like, what did you do for your holiday? I'm like, watch TV. Like, I was like, what do you mean holiday? I even didn't know, when she said holiday, I'm like, it's the middle of the year. What is she talking about? To me, holiday is Easter holiday or December holiday. I'm like, I just took leave.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay. Then, but she had just joined there now when she went on vacation. She took leave and came back and was talking about Lamu and this place. And I was like, wait, what? And my mind is think, man, this person is getting paid a shit ton to afford going to. Then, but one day she asked, because she ended up being my mentor. She's like, why don't you just go on vacation? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, is there somewhere you want to go? And my first ever vacation was my brother used to live in Malindi, my firstborn brother. I went there, but I couldn't even say it was a going. I said I'm going to visit my brother, and that's how I justified. And I got on because I'd never been on a train in Kenya. My brothers had been on a train when we were kids. I hadn't come along yet, so I was like, oh, I'll take the train to Mombasa. Then from Mombasa, I'll take the bus to Malindi, and I went, and that's the first time I ever like paid to go it was such a big deal in my head. I was like, wow.
Took time to see something new.
To go see now the first time not to go see a family member.
Yeah.
Where I just went and paid for a hotel. Blew my mind. Let me tell you. So that's my first time I spent. And the reason why I can only think of the car is because for a long time there's a lot of guilt associated with doing anything for myself. So it took a very, very, very long time. Probably when I moved out of the country is when I would go on vacations or trips or even try to spend money on myself. That's not without. So I never used to make big purchases. I'm trying to say I never used to make big purchases. Because I couldn't justify that, knowing that could have educated a village, as I was being told. Yeah.
That's quite.
Yeah. What was your first big purchase?
You know, when you talked about the car, I thought to myself, when I was in Kenya, I got my first little car. It was like a Nissan March, you know. It used to look like a Beetle.
Yeah, I remember the March,
Yeah. And to me, it was my first big purchase. But because it wasn't a purchase necessarily for me, because I was going to use it with my boyfriend then, I never felt it was for me. Now, my first purchase of something that was not really necessary, but I wanted, was actually a watch. And this was in Switzerland. So I'm talking about way after I've moved through Ireland, I've moved through Kenya. I've earned probably for more than 7 years, and now I'm moving to work in Switzerland. And I remember I spent a lot of time struggling. I wanted the watch. I could see it. I used to go to the website, I see it. And then I'm like,
no.
I try to tell myself, but do I really need it? So I talk myself out of it. But then again, my heart wanted it. So I don't know if I still have that watch, but I eventually bought it. But can you imagine how much it was?
Sometimes it's something like $80.
Yes.
Oh boy.
It was like 100 francs.
Wow.
And I remember that being my first big purchase that was for me. That it wasn't something necessary, because I wouldn't say the watch was necessary. I had probably another older one. But it was something that I wanted. But I have been so guilted into thinking that if something is not necessary, your money should not go to things that are either not helping family, or maybe they're not for paying education or paying, to rent your basic necessities. Money should only be for that. And above that, you save.
Yeah.
Anything else is, you know.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You say you're talking yourself out. I'm talking myself in.
I was going to say, I don't think you have the same problem.
I am talking myself in. What?
Oh, God,
So it records and moves at the same time? Come on, this is a no-brainer. You think I'm bad? I've got a friend, an American friend. Oh my God. There's nothing this guy doesn't have that I don't want.
Wow.
He's got everything. No, and I mean everything. No, we're not. He's got everything.
As in, there are people when they want something, they get it.
Yes. Immediately.
Yes.
Now, today.
Yes.
What? I want
He's
to
got
live like that.
everything.
Yes.
Go to his house.
Yes.
Go to
I
his
want
house.
to
And
live like
it's not
that.
everything, just things.
Everything.
It's everything of
He's
who
got
is making
everything.
it. Is it Versace? Is that the good one?
Yeah.
That's what we're getting.
Is it Gucci? He's got the
Yeah.
Gucci. Rolex, he's got the Rolex. Classic car,
you're
he's got a
calculating.
classic car.
You're calculating.
Can I tell you this is probably my number one secret, which I'm very proud of, There's some things that I like that are designer, but I can never buy myself a designer item. I probably have very few things that I've bought myself that are designer items.
But you like designer items. You like the...
I don't like the big logo items, but there are some things that I find really nice and functional, but I can still not bring myself to
Why
buy.
not? Because you like the thing. It's not that you like it.
I feel like I'm wasting money.
But
Do you know why? Can I help you
Yes.
get a break out of this? let me tell you what I do. Okay.
Show me how to fill the void.
You know, you go to work, you deal with a lot of things that stress you out.
Yeah.
And in your mind, you should keep a bank. And remember, every moment you are stressed out, for every single moment you are stressed out, put 1,000 for that moment. That way, when you go and spend the money, you think back to that moment. You know what I did for this money. You know
I
how
put
much
up with.
the things I
Yeah.
put up with,
Yeah.
running in the rain, getting this is for me. Why do you think you're not worth it? Who cares what's written? I know you can probably
and
get it
also,
somewhere
which
else.
afterlife is this your...
You know that maybe that's the shackles
I'm not
I
saying
need to break.
I'm not saying blow all your money, but I'm also saying what afterlife are you saving for?
You know, I need to think. I don't have kids. Like, I'm not trying to pass down
I'm not
my
saying
generational
blow your
wealth.
money. You never know. Tomorrow you might wake up and the Lord knocked on your door.
Yeah.
And we have a baby Mutambiri here.
Yeah, Lord help me.
You never know. So I'm not saying blow all your money, but you're not buying $1 million bag.
So let me tell you my thought process. Yeah. So if I like something, I would go on a specific site. It's called the gate, the window, whatever you may call it.
The fence.
The fence. I go buy a dupe of that thing to continue confirming to myself that I actually really, really like it. Then when I realize I really, 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 really like it, then I can spend my money on it. So if you see me with the what are these
Gucci with 1G.
Gucci written
Oh,
Gucci with SSI.
SSI.
Pucci by Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
Or Balenciaga.
Yeah, I do have a few things. Like I do have one or two things, but it's because I have bought enough fake to realize I actually
But when
like
you
the
bought
original.
those 1 and 2 things,
Yeah.
do you like them?
Yes.
So then what are you...
But
Again,
that's the thing I don't get. Like me, you know how I gauge whether I can afford it or not. Can I afford to buy 2 of them and still not sweat? So if I say yes, then I can afford to buy it. Most of the time I can't, but I still buy it.
But you still buy it.
So I know you can afford to buy it. So if you're about to buy 2, good, get the original. Pass it down. That's why people buy these things.
That's true.
So they
pass
pass
them
it
to
down
someone.
through generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pass it down to someone. Gucci bag is like a...
I do like some designer stuff. I don't like the big logos and everything, but
Yeah,
there's
no.
some very nice things. Like there's some very specific things that I like. And in all honesty, it's not that I cannot afford. It's just that I'm mentally blocked to spend on
it.
myself.
Yeah.
And I have to really convince.
So let me tell you, if the thing is worth, let's even say 3,000. Please don't judge my math. I might not be right.
Yeah.
But if you've kept money in an account for more than 2 years, you've lost equivalent
That's
of that
true.
thing you owned.
That's true.
If your money just sitting in an account,
If you buy a Birkin bag for 40K, next year, this time, it will be worth 45.
You'd have gained, you know,
5K
the
for 1
worst
year.
scam is some investment, not about the purchases, but the worst place you can put your money is in Swiss savings accounts.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
that's not a savings account. Like even ETFs, you
yeah,
will make
'cause they don't know if they make
0.01.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah. So do something with it.
yeah,
Oh, question towards the end.
yeah.
So where do you feel like you are in your financial... Are you financially well? Is that even a question? If there's a financial wellness scale of 1 to 10, 10 is I am at 1
Yes.
with my money is aligned with my values, with my... I make 5 francs, I save 1 franc. My expenses are down to 1 franc.
What's after 10? Or is there anything after 10? It's just 10 is the...
10 is the maximum.
Is there another extreme on the other end? That's it.
One is where you're like, you're like, I'm stressed about money. So I constantly think about money. I don't think I'm where I'm at. I don't know what's going to happen if there's an emergency tomorrow. That's one. 10 is where I'm like, I have 5 emergency accounts. I have investments that are making me great money. I have, or even if you're like in your financial journey, you feel like you're at a place where, I have a great relationship with money. I have boundaries. I have, so where do you think you are in the scale of 1 to 10?
1 to 10. I am at a 3.
Hi.
There's not. Listen, you are living. That was the whole basis of the discussion, that we live life for today.
So let me rephrase it this way, and probably
Or define your 3 year.
Yeah, let me define it this way, because I watched this yesterday or the day before with Juliet, and I realized there's so many steps I need to take for me to be at a 10. For example, I don't use money as a tool for wealth. I'm not looking at my money as something that's going to make me money.
More money.
Yes, more money. I'm not maximizing what I could. So I need to look at that to get to a 10. Number 2, I still have guilt around money. Even though I can afford, I still feel guilty spending money on myself. There is a lot of work to be done there. Number 3 is I probably don't have good boundaries around money, because I don't give my money work to do. So, for example, if I don't plan, like, for example, I want my money to go to this investment. If I don't have a future plan for my money, because I don't have any. I know I'm just putting and saving, but I don't have like a clear picture. If I don't have a name associated to where I want my money to go, I'll end up falling into any wishy-washy, wishy-washy
investments
that come by, which is, I've not come across that, but it's also a possibility, So I do feel like I do have a lot of work to do. I am a hoarder by design, so, and guilt-ridden with spending. So I have work to do. I have a lot of work to do. Yeah.
DJ?
I think we know where we're asking.
Where do you stand?
Listen, me, I'm there. 2-1, 1-2.
Define your 1-2.
I am living. Yeah, well, look, just with money, I've never been, as I said, this is the first time I've had to grow up and get serious about what I do with my money. But, we're working on it.
Yeah,
working on it.
Yeah.
You're at a 2-1-2.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're living and you're innate and you feel comfortable with your money, you could be like around 7.
I don't care about it as much.
Yeah.
It does bother me sometimes, but I don't care. As I said, I from someone who used to live 1 month with crazy amounts of money, and then the next 2 months nothing.
Yeah.
So that also put me in a way that, listen, I shouldn't hold too much value on. You never know what's going on. This could be exciting now, but it could be over tomorrow.
Question: if you made 4 times, 5, like 10 times as much as you make now, would you still be living?
I would. For me to adjust going up is so easy. So easy.
Yeah.
I can adjust going up. It's the going down. That's the problem. Do you get what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
To adjust my spending to spend more. Come on.
Not a problem.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. The scariest thing is, I don't know if more money would make me happier. No, I don't. I'm not 100% sure of that. No.
Sure.
Yeah. So I live just like, it's cool.
Like what you have, this is the happiest I could be.
Yeah,
so I'll enjoy my life
I don't.
right now.
I don't
That's a
know
good
if.
way to go.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can't say for a fact. I'll give it a shot though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
What about you?
I'd put myself at about a 7. Mostly because I've done last 2 years I've been doing work on my relationship with money.
Yeah.
So I'd put myself at a 7.
Good.
normally I would be more like, oh, I should have more money. I'm like, I've made some decisions, whether by luck or by whatever it is, who knows? We are here anyway. I've diversified is that what they say? Diversify your portfolio. I could diversify it more, sure.
Yeah.
But I think I have things that if I was like, fuck it, I don't want to do more work, more nothing. I think I'd be okay. Not in Switzerland. Let's be clear.
You know what? If I'm somewhere in
Switzerland.
Kenya, you'd be way
Yes.
better.
I'd even hop over next dot Portugal. Somewhere where life is way cheaper.
Yes.
So yeah, I think I am more in a mindset where I'm not stressing about money because I've understood that as long as I have opportunities, I'll find ways to make it.
Okay.
And I'm also changing my mindset where I'm like, you know what? Money loves me. Money will come to me.
Yes.
I've never been tight-fisted about money. So I don't plan to ever be tight-fisted with money anyway. So I'm like, no, I love experiences. That's where my expenditure is. I'm less about things. I like experiences. So I like experiences with my friends and with family, people I love. So there's never a regret or like, oh, that shouldn't, no. And I'm in the process of doing another big investment.
Yes.
Risky investment. I don't know if it's risky. I think it's going to be a good time. I think I'm learning how to not overthink things. I used to be such an overthinker with money, and now I'm less of an overthinker. Also, one of our friends, I remember asking her this, because I was reading some book. I'll tell you the book. She was asking me, oh, what was your relationship with money growing up? I remember her telling me, oh, for her, she was like, no, as we were told, you can always make money. Money is very easy to make.
Yeah.
But it's also very hard to keep. You can easily lose all of it. Now, you need to have the skill to know how to keep making it. But if you just think there's money and you've no concept of how does it grow, like there has to be some responsibility to understand, okay, there's money. If you happen to be born in a family where there's wealth, understand it, learn how do we grow this versus just being like, oh, there's money,
Spend it.
let's just live life.
Yeah.
And she's talking about this because she's seen situations where people she knows where that money went really quickly, really fast. And cost of living is not going down anytime soon. I think to myself, wow, that's so different, because truly she does not live life.
I know who you're talking about.
She doesn't live life having been stressing about things, but one of the things she was told is like, it's also very easy to lose it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, maybe I need to start living more in the mindset of money is in abundance. There's money will come my way. So even for you, who you say you love money, but money doesn't love you, you need to also change how you talk to yourself or think about money, and think to yourself, money loves you. Why shouldn't
Money
it
loves
not?
you, is attracted to you.
Why are you lecturing me? Why don't you go talk to the money? That way,
Money can come find
go
you.
talk to the money.
Tell money.
Tell them I'm here. No, I hear what you're saying.
Ready for you. Yeah.
I hear
So
what you're saying.
One thing I sort of took away that I thought would be a good maybe point for me to close on is the way you have your relationship with money also depends on how you negotiate for yourself in spaces. So even when you find yourself in a place where you need to negotiate your salary, or even you have a business deal, that if you believe money will never come or money is always a problem, you'll be very timid about it. But if you have a feeling that money is abundant and I can get what I want, you will have your chest out and be like, I want the best deal.
Be
on
very
the table.
bullish. Yeah.
You'll be I
had someone say, if you're giving quotation, somebody asks says, oh, I want you to do some work for me, give me a cost quotation. And you give them a cost quotation, and they say, cool. you undervalued yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have a problematic relationship with money, you probably undervalue yourself in spaces. Yeah.
And
Whether-
also ask people. These are things I wish I knew. Maybe this will be another
Yeah.
episode. Even in employment, the first few years in employment, I was grossly underpaid. It was only until I remember I was moving to a new role, and the manager in that team I was moving to was like, "Hey, they were not involved in compensation, but they asked me, oh, have you negotiated for your pay?" I'm like, "Mom, they just told me this is the new pay."
Yeah.
He's like, "No,
Yeah.
ask around, find out. Do you need me to help you find out?" So they asked around, came back and told me, people with your tenure, with blah, 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 this is what they're making.
Yeah.
So ask for 25% more or
Yeah.
30% more, then you can negotiate down to the cost you want. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Until that, and let me tell you, that was a white man. Until that guy, I had no clue. I was just taking whatever, because I was just like, hey, I'm being told I'm being paid well for the market. All right.
And also, you come from, well, I would say we come from a point where you're already feeling so grateful you've been given this job.
Yeah, exactly. No, ask people, ask around. If you're getting a job offer somewhere, or you're applying for a job and they're asking for what is your pay, what is your expectation,
Yeah.
find somebody who you can look online. Now there's places like Glassdoor, whatever. There's places that you can find, oh, this is the job type. This is what people are being paid. Go in with some negotiating power.
Yeah.
Go in and negotiate.
Yeah.
Because they want you for the job.
And if you under negotiate, you end up looking like you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And also, if it stresses you out, charge more.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, actually, that's
there's so many gigs that I've gotten, and this looks like it's going to be stressful.
Yeah.
So just up
You
the
add a
price.
few to that.
That's going to cost this
Yeah.
much. And then they say that's way much. The other guy was like, yeah, go to the other
Go
guy.
to the other guy.
It's not worth my stress.
Yeah.
I'm okay right now. I've got a full-time job that I reply on. The money is not going to make that much of a world of a difference.
Yeah.
But the stress level might hike.
Yeah.
You know, when you get older, you start to think about these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, more money next time.
More money, no problems.
Yes, no problems.
No problems. More money, no
No
problems.
problems.
Till the next time. Bye.